It felt like the ground beneath me had opened up, swallowing the life I thought I knew. My husband had betrayed me, leaving me gasping for air in a reality I never wanted to face. The world felt muted, the colors drained from my life, and all I could hear was the deafening silence of my heart breaking. Jackson and I had built a life together over 23 years, filled with laughter and shared dreams. But now those memories felt like shards of glass, cutting into my heart each time I thought about what he had done. The echo of our once happy conversations haunted me, twisting into a cruel mockery of the love I thought was unbreakable. The day I discovered the truth was a gray morning, heavy with the weight of despair. I found a message on his phone, a string of flirtatious texts that made me feel like I was drowning in betrayal. Each word felt like a dagger, piercing through the facade of our marriage, and I was left breathless, reeling from the shock. When I confronted him, my voice trembled with a mix of rage and heartbreak. How could you do this to us, to our family? His eyes were cold, and instead of remorse, I was met with a blank stare that screamed louder than any confession. It was as if he had already locked away our life together, tossing the key into a dark abyss. He didn't even try to deny it. His guilt hung in the air, palpable yet overshadowed by a chilling indifference. The flicker of contempt in his eyes told me everything. I was nothing more than a casualty in his quest for something new. In that moment, I made a decision. If he could break me, I would learn to break him back. I could feel the fire of vengeance igniting within me, pushing away the pain just enough to let me focus on my plan. For months, I played the part of the dutiful wife, expertly masking my true emotions while secretly plotting my revenge. Each day was a performance, my heart heavy with deception, but I needed him to believe I was still committed while I gathered evidence of his betrayal, meticulously moving my things out like a thief in the night. I remember Christmas Eve, the air thick with the scent of pine and cinnamon, my heart racing as I left divorce papers on the kitchen table. It felt like the final act of my desperate play, the culmination of my heartbreak wrapped in a neat envelope, waiting to shatter our lives forever. As I vanished from our home, a sense of liberation washed over me, mingled with an ache that reminded me of all the love I had once felt for him. Each step away was a small victory, yet I could feel the weight of my heart dragging behind me, a ghost of what once was. I exposed his affair to everyone, friends, family, his colleagues. Watching his world implode felt like sweet justice, but with every revelation, I questioned the woman I had become. Was I really the hero of my story, or just another villain in the saga of our lives? The fallout was catastrophic. His family disowned him, friends turned their backs, and he lost his job, leaving him with nothing but the remnants of a life he had taken for granted. It was a brutal reminder that actions have consequences, but I could hardly revel in his misfortune. Instead, I felt a strange hollowness inside. Yet, during our divorce hearing, I could see the desperation in his eyes as he begged for another chance. But I was done. The love I once held had been buried under layers of betrayal. His pleas felt like echoes of a life I could no longer recognize, and I stood firm, knowing that I had to reclaim my own identity. In that sterile courtroom, the finality of it all crashed down on me like a wave, consuming not just our marriage but my entire sense of self. I felt like a ghost, haunting the remains of a life I used to cherish, and I wondered if I would ever feel whole again. After the dust settled, I spiraled into darkness, overwhelmed with guilt and loss, contemplating an escape from the pain that felt insurmountable. The weight of my choices pressed down on me, suffocating any flicker of hope I might have clung to. I attempted to take my life, believing it was the only way to silence the chaos in my mind, but I survived. And that survival felt like a cruel twist of fate. I woke up in a sterile hospital room, the beeping machines a constant reminder of the battle I had lost with myself. Jackson refused to visit me in the hospital, his words cutting deeper than any knife. "You're not my concern anymore." Those words echoed in my mind, a brutal testament to the love that had turned to ash. Each passing day was a reminder of my failures. I lost my home, my job, and the respect of my family, all while he moved on without a second glance. Watching him rebuild his life from the sidelines was like watching a movie where I was the forgotten character. He found solace in the arms of a longtime female friend, and I was left to pick up the pieces of a shattered existence that felt foreign and unrecognizable. It stung to see him so effortlessly replace me, and I felt like a ghost, forever lingering in the shadows of my own life. Looking back at the years we shared, I realized with chilling clarity that I never truly knew the man I had devoted my life to. He was a stranger disguised as my husband. The realization was a bitter pill to swallow, and it cut deeper than any betrayal ever could. The way he calculatedly destroyed my world left scars that would never fully heal, each memory a reminder of the betrayal that shattered my trust. I had been so blind, and now I had to confront the reality of my blindness and the pain it caused. I began the long journey of trying to forgive myself, grappling with the choices I had made and the person I had become in the name of revenge. I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me in the mirror, and the search for redemption felt daunting. Finding a way forward felt impossible. Every step was weighed down by the past, but I knew I had to try for the sake of my own sanity. I had to untangle the web of emotions that had ensnared me and start anew, even if it felt like climbing a mountain without a summit. I started therapy, slowly unraveling the tangled mess of feelings that swirled within me. The process was painful but necessary, like pulling thorns from my heart. Each session was a battle, but I emerged a little stronger, a little more whole each time. As I rebuilt my life, I realized that the true journey was about understanding the depths of love and betrayal, and how easily they can intertwine. I had to learn that love could be both a sanctuary and a prison, and I needed to find my way back to freedom. In moments of reflection, I would sit by the window, watching the world go by, feeling both a part of it and utterly disconnected at the same time. It was a strange limbo, where I was surrounded by life yet felt like a mere observer in my own story. Despite everything, I learned that I was stronger than I ever thought possible. I had fought my way through the darkness and emerged, albeit scarred. Those scars became symbols of my resilience, reminders of the battles I had faced and survived. The scars are a reminder of the lessons learned, the devastating consequences of betraying those we claim to love. I carried them with me, not as burdens, but as proof of my journey and the strength I found in the aftermath of despair. I may never fully heal from this ordeal, but I carry the lessons with me, hoping that one day I can find genuine love again, one that is built on trust and honesty. I refuse to let my past define my future. I am determined to reclaim my happiness, no matter how long it takes. Thank you for watching. For more real stories and powerful dramas, be sure to like, subscribe, and explore our iWoveU 2 channel. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us and transforming your love life with the Make Him Worship You program, linked in the description. It's a game changer for any woman seeking the love she truly deserves.